Hello and welcome to another Arcades video and to a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. This time we are at Dragon Trail Garden, the reverse layout, and we are in a very legendary car with a very long name. It's the 1991 Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.516 Evolution 2 and we are on the sports hard tires. Anyway, I give this an hour to begin with to see how far I could go as usual. Then I took the day off, spent some time with the family, and then I went back in the evening to see if I could improve some more. And it turned out to be a bit of a brain melter, but suddenly unlocked some pace at the end. I crammed this down to roughly a 15-minute video and I hope you will enjoy it. And if you are new to the channel and you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. It is highly appreciated. Now let's get on to my first wobbly attempts. And we are jumping in straight away when the time trial had just opened, picking up a prize for the previous time trial. And now we are jumping into this one. And I'm going to use this first lap to point out some braking references. Just ignore my driving because it's awful. The first one is actually one Titsney's pointed out because the 100 board is a bit far away, but those orange barriers are perfect for when to brake for turn 1. And we are just skipping forward. You've got this board. That is where you dab the brake and get the car turned in to the first part of this long quadruple corner. And as we're coming up the hill, I look at the gantry but need to go past it before getting on the brakes, and I am at the middle of the track. You don't want to be there. So still ignore the driving on this first lap. We are jumping ahead a bit. As you can see, I am barely surviving. Just before the 100 board you need to brake, I sort of line it up with the timer at the top of the screen there. And don't take the corner like this, running completely wide. And we are jumping onto the chicane. You've got a 100 board as well. You need to brake right on it, maybe even a bit before it, at least if you are me. The chicane is actually almost what I survived the best on this first lap. And now we are coming up towards the final corner and I'm turning in way too early. I'm normally trying to get the car lined up with that last bit of the curb. Don't get into the curb before there because then you can get a clean run out of there without running wide on the exit. So as we complete the first lap, let's just say a lap tour, it's a 158.277. And here is a perfect demonstration of why you don't turn in too early on that final corner. You can see I actually catch the inside of the curb, the car jumps wide and I end up in the wall on the outside. Right, that's the silver time, so let's go to work now. So this is my first lap with a loaded Ghost, and since it is early doors, the Ghost is rather sketchy as well. We are all learning at this time. We make our way around turn 1 and we are going to skip ahead to the chicane where I end up overtaking the Ghost. So the Ghost is turning into more of a distraction than being helpful, and you can see I cannot see anything and I get rather distracted coming around that final corner, but at least it was a nice guide to get me around the track. We are down to a 155.544. Spent 11 minutes now. We are loading a new Ghost and we end up taking nearly a second out of our time. I spent a big part of the first hour even learning this track in reverse layout. I'm fairly comfortable with it in the normal way around, but the reverse, that is kind of new to me. I seem to have avoided it. You can see I was running deep into turn 1 and I am running deep into turn 1 again. Will I ever learn? I hope I will learn at some point. Also running wide on the exit, almost crashing, and a big slide coming into this long corner. You actually want a bit of a slide, but that was almost running out of control for me. We are finding that last apex and we're coming up the hill, but as we're coming into the hairpin, I am turning in too soon, and you can see how much I have to turn on the exit when I want to accelerate, so that was kind of awful. Now we're coming into the chicane. I managed to survive that, keeping it sort of cool, keeping the car in check, and we are jumping ahead. We are going to go across the line and we are taking off half a second now. Still the big chunks of the early part of the process. And I think, yeah, we are going to park the car now and jump out to have a look. We've done 26 minutes now and the times are coming down, so we need to get some improvements in ourselves. We are jumping to the end of this lap. This is going to be a fair improvement and we are staying on board for a bit because we kept improving, even though I am slightly missing turn 1. Maybe I can at least salvage a decent exit out of here. Yeah, now the time is coming down again. I didn't get the rotation I wanted into the long quadruple corner, but let's see, can we find that last apex? That was cutting too much. You can see how much that unsettles the car, and this is getting rather clumsy, to be fair. You don't want to take that much off the curbs because you really get a unsettled car. And now we're coming into the hairpin, and I need to stop aiming for the ghost coming into the hairpin because I end up turning in too early. That's such a rookie mistake, and I just catch myself doing it over and over. So that's a big note to myself. We get through the chicane and I am turning in too early. You can see I had to correct it. That makes the car a bit wobbly and I still have to fight it a bit on the exit, but we are going across the line in a 153.404 and we carry on coming into turn 1, getting the car rotated a bit better this time. Still, I need to get it rotated a bit more before I start coming fully on the power because it is struggling on the exit. We are making our way around here, avoiding that second to last apex, but finding the last one, still cutting way too much, but we are coming up the hill. This time I'm getting off the curb too early, basically turning in too early, don't get the rotation and the line I want, and now I'm just fighting to keep the car on the right line because otherwise you will run wide coming out of that one. Coming around the hairpin, you can see I am still not getting the car rotated enough. I need some more patience there. Now we are coming into the chicane. I am going across the first sausage curb. I am missing the second one. It's better to do it the other way around, to be honest. Here I'm going too much on the inside and you can see the car was almost going on 2 wheels there. Now we are coming around the final corner and this actually looks like an okay line. You can see now I'm not struggling as much on the exit and we are getting a good run. We are down to a 53.206 and we are going to accidentally park the car, mostly because I forgot to brake for turn 1, so we might as well just go and have a look. We've done 35 minutes and we are jumping to my final and best attempt within the first hour. So we are making our way around turn 1. I am going to run a bit deep, a bit wide, so already I am losing time, but at least we are getting a better exit than on the previous lap. Do I get the car rotated into this bit, down another gear, and we are avoiding on purpose most apexes apart from that last one. Now we're coming up the hill. Can I get the car rotated into the right hander this time using the curb? Yeah, but that was a bit too early. The car got a bit wobbly and I had to correct it. Lost some time there. But now we are coming down the hill and we need to avoid running wide on the left hand side just there. Now for the hairpin. Be patient, don't turn into, still turning in a bit too early and you can see how that messes up the exit, but we are still up on our time. Now for the chicane and I am trying to go across the first sausage curb, also the second one, slightly missed it and slightly compromised line out of there, but we are getting a decent run compared to what I had done up till then. And now for the final corner, did I get the right line? Maybe turned in a bit too early and you can see how the car just runs wide, but we're down to a 52.949 and I mess up, so we are parking the car in the wall. That was what I could do within the first hour and we are jumping straight on to the evening because now we have jumped onto another account. I have just matched the time of my first hour and we've got a clear mind. Let's go. Okay, but anyway, I tried 50 kilometers roughly in VR, but I couldn't really judge the sausage curves correctly in that cockpit view, so I jumped back into flat screen, and now we are well into the first lap where I managed to get a decent improvement compared to my morning time. We are making our way around the hairpin, as clumsy as always. Now I'm starting to slightly avoid the first sausage curve so I can better line the car up for the second one, because it's easier to get a good run out of that entire section. We are going across the line in a 152.694, and this is where this started to turn into a bit of a brain melter. We are trying to keep going. Our optimum time says I need to clean up this lap, but what happens next describes my upcoming night perfectly. The kilometers just kept stacking up. The optimum time kept laughing in my face. I had cramps from holding the controller, and now we are jumping to my final run, and suddenly something happened. But look at the kilometers driven, and my hands were in pain from holding the controller. We are braking at the orange barrier on the right hand side. We are being patient, getting the car rotated up to third gear again, and a bit slidey on the exit, but we are still alive. Now we are coming up towards the long quadruple corner. We are looking for not the first board but the second board. We are having a tiny dab on the brakes, letting the car slide in down another gear, avoiding this apex but trying to get the car lined up for the exit up the hill, and we made it through. You have to brake way after the gantry actually. Now we are using the curb to get the car rotated in. I don't get the best line. I was turning in a bit early there, so I had to sort of compromise some lines, and you can see the Ghost is running away. Now we're coming into the hairpin, and still you can see I'm still aiming for that stupid Ghost. I need to stop doing that because it compromises my exit. Still some cleaning up to do, that's for sure. Now we have this long, actually a straight, you can take it completely straight lined. Now we are coming up towards the 100 board. I am braking slightly short of that, avoiding the first sausage, but we are aiming to go across the second one. Still not the best, but we are keeping the car in check. Now I could see that my time was looking good, so now I have to nail this corner, making sure not to go into the curb too soon. We are getting a decent exit out of there. Now we are rushing towards the line, and this is actually going to be a rather nice improvement. We are down to a 152.052, so I am so close to getting into the 151s, and you can see I'm letting out all frustration on that wall. So this is where we're going to end this for now. Almost into the 151s. I might be able to get there, but I'm certainly not touching this time trial for the next couple of days at least. It's a fun car to drive. Spend quite some time learning the reverse layout, and once you get to that point where you are searching for that final bit of time, this is where this can get rather frustrating. But I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining and maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.